thumbnail might look like a school photo, but you know what? All of the other ones looked worse. Hi everyone, Rosie here. Welcome back to my channel. It is time to do my July TBR. It is mid-June, but I've got some stuff coming up, so I want to get this filmed and hopefully edited and posted and stuff in not too long. The first book I'm going to read in July, almost certainly, is A Distant Mirror, The Calamitous 14th Century by Barbara W. Tuchman. This is a nonfiction history book about the 14th century that was written in the 1970s. I'm about a quarter of the way through this, but it is 700 pages long, and legit, I cannot read more than 7 pages without falling asleep. Every night I get in bed and I think, I'm gonna read like 5% of this book tonight, which sounds like nothing, but that's like 50 pages and it's nonfiction history. It's pretty dense. And I am asleep within 7 pages. Every single time. So it's gonna be a while, but I am enjoying it. This next one is not going to make that any easier. It is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I'm going to buddy read this with Camilla of Hasty Books. I think that's her channel name. We're going to be reading this in French, which is very daunting for me. I am not the strongest at reading French. This is like 1,300 pages long, but I'm hoping that having the buddy read will help keep me a bit motivated and having the opportunity to like discuss things as they happen, because I think this is a pretty like action-packed book. Not action-packed, but like stuff happens. I don't know. I haven't read any Dumas, and I'm excited to explore his writing. I then have an e-arc from NetGalley that I need to read and review because it's coming out very soon. It is Space Oddities, Forgotten Stories of Mankind's Exploration of Space by Joe Cuhaj. This is published by Rowman and Littlefield, I think under the Prometheus imprint, maybe? I never know what the words are. This is a nonfiction science book for adults, and I'm hoping that this will be fun. I have a vacation coming up, and I'm planning to read this then, because I'm hoping that this will just be the sort of light, funny history that I love, and because I don't know much about the history of space exploration, I'm hoping it'll just be fun, as opposed to when I try and read this type of history book, where I know a bit more and I start to see all of the inconsistencies. I don't know. I'll let you know how I get on with this, and I'll be excited to hear if any of you read it as well. Oh, and that is coming out on August 1st, by the way, if you do want to pick it up. I don't know if it's still available on NetGalley or not, though. I now have a couple Terry Pratchett books that I will be reading. First of those, The Last Hero. This is the 27th Discworld novel, and I actually haven't read this one yet, so I'm really excited. This is why I'm doing the publication order read through. This is why I'm going through from the first to the last in order to like catch any, because in the past I've always just read them in a random order and sort of picked things up here and there as I wanted to. So I had read most of them, but like as we're finding out, there are ones that I haven't. I think this is about Cohen the Barbarian, who is now quite old. And I think Rincewind is in this one based on the cover, but I don't know anything else. So I'm kind of so excited to not even read the description and just go in blind, because that's an experience I have a limited number of chances to do with Pratchett's writing. I mean, he wrote a lot, so I do still have a number of books to read, but I kind of just want to really enjoy this. Which is not to say that I won't enjoy Guards, also by Terry Pratchett. This is the 8th book in the Discworld series and the first book in the City Watch sub-series. I will be reading this and co-hosting a read-along of it with Katja of Read, Write, Create. I think she might have changed her channel name recently. I'm not positive. And also with Kevy of Say Kevy and Scott from Gunpowder Fiction and Plot. We are doing a read-along this year. We've read a number of the sort of sub-series book ones. So we read one of the first Wizards books, one of the first Witches books. We have read other things. Oh, one of the first Death novel. And now we're going to be reading the first City Watch novel. Guards is one of the most popular starting points with Discworld. A lot of people will tell you to start with Guards. He is really on form by this point. He's really worked out his style and is in full stride. The City Watch are a fascinating group of characters with so many books. They are really great, and if you love murder mysteries or like crime novels and stuff like that, then I think you should join us and read Guards, because I think you will love it. I can't remember when in the month we'll be reading this, but it'll be like on the screen or something right now. And yes, hopefully you will join us. Ask in the comments for a link to the Discord, because if I post it when I write the description for this, it'll be dead by the time it goes live. But yes, definitely ask about that so I can send you an updated Discord link as well. Now, I have just one, maybe two more books that I'll be reading in July. First of those is The Untold Story by Genevieve Cogman. This is the 8th book in the Invisible Library series, and I'm so excited! I just finished the 7th book the other day. I've been listening to it for a week or so, and I think the 8th book is the last book that's out right now. Let me just check that. Okay, yeah, I think the 8th book is the last one. It came out in 2021, so that's pretty recent. I've introduced the Invisible Library so many times, but I'm going to try and do it in a different way. This is like a female Mary Sue James Bond power fantasy, but with vintage clothing, a very attractive and very, very swoon-worthy love interest, and just like fantastic adventure romps. I have so much fun with these books. They are so wonderful, and I really hope that Genevieve Cogman keeps writing more, because oh my, I am obsessed. And I have to say, shout out to Katie of Katie Reads and Rants, because I actually got back into this series thanks to her recommendations. I had read the first one like 5 years ago and gone like, yeah, that was good, but I guess I never got to the second. And it was her cheering for it and shouting it out on her channel that made me go like, oh, maybe I'll try that out. And now I've read 6 of the books in 6 months, which for me is an amazing rate to finish a series. Kind of sad to be reading the last one, but also I want to know what happens, so I have to do that, and I'm really looking forward to it. And finally, if I finish A Distant Mirror that I mentioned at the beginning, I think I will start another book, and that is True History of the Kelly Gang by Peter Carey. Peter Carey is, I think, an Australian author. He certainly writes about Australia a lot. I read his book Oscar and Lucinda like 5 years ago now when I was living in Australia. That was like good but not great for me. I also read one of his like collections of essays or something, and I actually enjoyed that a lot more. But I don't know, I'm interested to return. The concept of True History of the Kelly Gang sounds really exciting to me. It's historical fiction about a famous, like, what would we call Ned Kelly? Like, anti-hero? Bushranger? Outlaw? Like, whatever you want to call it, from Australian history. Actually did exist. There are actually crazy stories about him, and now this is a historical fiction take. I love that sort of thing often, so I'm really excited to get into this and see how Carey tells this story. Alright, those are all of the books that I'm hoping to read in July. Let me know down below, what are you planning to read in July? What are you most excited about? Are you doing any readathons? I'm sort of ignoring readathons at the moment because that just feels like too much pressure, but I know there are some really exciting ones going around that I kind of want to participate in. We'll see if I get around to in Austin. It's possible. I might have to, but again, we'll see. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like down below. If you would like to see more of my videos, hit subscribe, and thank you for watching.